Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to look at one of the most important parts of early environment design in Unreal Engine 5, the blockout phase. I'll walk you through using geometry brushes for quick prototyping, how to shape your world using the landscape tools, and finally, how to bring it to life with the foliage system. By the end, you'll have the foundation for a playable environment that already feels believable, even before detailed assets or materials are in place. Let's start with the basics. Geometry brushes, sometimes called BSPs. You'll find them under Place Actors, Geometry. These shapes are perfect for blocking out your environment before you commit to modeling. I'm dragging a box brush into the level. By default, it's additive, which means it adds volume. Think of additive brushes as building blocks, walls, floors, stairs, rooms. You can scale them in the Details panel or press A to resize directly in the viewport. Now, if you want to carve something out like a doorway or a corridor, I switch to a Subtractive brush. Select it in the Details panel and change Brush Type Subtractive. When I move it through the walls, it cuts the geometry away, as you can see. Together, additive and subtractive brushes let you sketch your layout fast, like clay modeling for architecture. Don't worry about tiny gaps or stretching textures, as at this stage the goal is just to test proportion and composition. We're blocking for gameplay and camera flow. One small but important workflow tip is that all BSPs appear in the outliner, so I will show you in a little bit how to do that. But right now I'm adding another box and creating another subtractive shape to add a door. So this is a way to do it, but potentially you could just duplicate the subtractive box that you already have and just reshape it. Okay, so I'll show you in a second how to do it. Okay, again, brush type, subtractive, and we do have like another corridor. This is a quick way to block out your environment without committing to having static meshes or modeling static meshes, okay? So if you go to the outliner, you can select and rename your boxes, which makes it much easier to stay organized. So this is especially useful for subtractive brushes since they are technically invisible in the scene and can be tricky to pick directly in the viewport. You can also rename them, for example, doorway subtract or window cutout. Next, let's move from man-made space to natural one. Click the drop down at the top left of the viewport and choose Landscape Mode. This opens three tabs: Manage, Sculpt, and Paint. Under Manage, you can set the overall size and resolution of your terrain. For now, I'll stick with the default and click Create. We now have a basic terrain ready to sculpt. I am going back to Select Mode to select my BSPs and move them in the correct position. If you press F, you'll be able to get back to the shape you have selected. Let's move to the Sculpt tab. This is where the fun begins. So Sculpt tools allow you to click and drag to raise terrain, almost like digital clay. You can set up your brush size, and as well the strength of your brush. Smooth softens rough areas, and it's like great for natural slope, or if you want to soften your hills, for example, in this case. Then you have Flatten, which levels terrain to a fixed height, perfect for like plateaus or building like plain areas. Then you have the ramp that draws a start and end point, then generates a clear ramp, ideal for paths and driveways. You have erosion, which simulates like rain, weathering, carving more realistic shapes. And hydro as well adds flows, erosion effects, as if rain had sculpted the channels over time. You have noise as well, which add randomness and texture. Just go easy, it's quite powerful, okay? So here I'm playing a little bit with the environment, trying to, find a bit of variety and creating different ramps, different slopes, and try to give a little bit of different effects to my terrain. Try combining these tools for organic results. For example, use Sculpt to create hills, erosion to break it up, and smooth to tidy it. Adjust brush size and tool strength constantly so small, subtle strokes tend to look more realistic. Directly go to the select tool to apply materials. So you can search a material and just apply to the details panel, as I am doing here. You can add grass or gravel, for example. If you want to apply a little bit of look dev to your geometry shapes, you can drag materials into them and they will just be applied to the faces. Now let's bring some life to the scene with Foliage tool. So switch from landscape to Foliage mode at the top. And here you can add static meshes, trees, grass, rocks, debris, even props. So just click the plus icon and select any mesh from your content browser, or you can just drag them and drop them into the browser, into the Foliage tab, as I am doing there, okay? So once added, just click on those checks to make sure that they will be added to your brushes. And you can adjust density, scale, range, and align to normal to control how they scatter, or you can, of course, set as well and scale the amplitude of your brush, so you can make your brush bigger or smaller. You can click and drag directly on the terrain to paint foliage into the world, as I am doing. So you'll see meshes randomly distributed within the brush radius. If you paint too much or want to clean the area, you can either hold Shift and erase, or you can use the erase tool. Remember, variety is key, so mix a few meshes types with different scales to avoid repetition. You can also toggle collision, static lighting, and random yaw for performance and realism tweaks. Use foliage not just for plants, but also for small rocks, clutter, or even background props. Anything that benefits from mass placement can be managed here. And that's it. A quick but complete workflow for early environment creation in Unreal Engine 5. You have seen how to block out spaces with geometry brushes, shape terrain using the landscape tools, and populate it all with foliage for a living immersive world. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more Unreal Engine tips and cinematic tutorials. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.